Kính thưa đại chúng, trước khi Pháp Hòa nói tiếng Việt, xin đại chúng cho Pháp Hòa xin 15 phút hoặc là 20 phút để Pháp Hòa nói chuyện với các em. Pháp Hòa sẽ giải thích ý nghĩa lễ quy y để sau này các em có thể nghe và các em phát tâm. Từ nay mai có chùa nào ở đây tổ chức lễ quy y thì các em có thể phát tâm để hướng về các đạo tràng, các thầy để quy y. Good evening, my dear brothers and sisters, friends. Today is Friday, November 16, 2018. We have another chance to meet each other for the second time on my trip that I visit Brisbane at the Linh Buddhist temple. And before we have a longer Vietnamese talk, I just want to share with you briefly about a very important practice for the Buddhist practitioners. You may hear the word tu in Vietnamese, and the spelling of the word tu is very simple, T-U, and you can pronounce tu. And some people may think that when you tu, that means you have to shave your head to become a monastic. But actually, in Buddhist practice, tu means you're able to train yourself, to fix yourself, to renew yourself, to make yourself newer, to do something better, to transform your negatives. So why we need to do those? Because we have the intent, the love for someone, especially ourselves, our loved one, our family, our society. The flower is just nice by itself. But if we know how to cut the flower and we can arrange for the whole arrangement like this, and the flower will look nicer. None of the thing in this life that we want to be good without, fixing, correction, and put your intent to make it better. We are all the same. Even we are young or we are old, each of us we have different negative habits. So if we're able to change that negative habits, we make somebody around us, they are more happy. So that is the intent to show your love. Now you can transform your love into actions. If the bell will sit like this, and this bell cannot make sound, so doesn't look right and nice, so I will fix it. This is tu. Tu means when you're able to see your negatives, your problems, your mistakes, your wrongs, and you're willing to change it to make your family more happy, to make your loved one more happy. Because when we come to each other, what do we promise? I want to make you happy. Will you marry me? We are looking for a loved one, like, can I date? So when we dating someone, we want to have a happy moment together. Then if we don't do anything, then how can that happy moment happen? Things cannot happen by itself if we do not put ourselves in. Another word, invest. We have money, we have to know how to invest. So our money can make more money. Same thing. We already, us, now we invest ourselves into something to make us become newer, better. So every morning when we wake up, we brush our teeth because we know if we don't brush our teeth, it smells bad. We wash our face because we want to make sure our face looks clean and nice. So that means we want to do things look nice, smell good. Even us, the flower, the food, everything around. We clean the house. We do everything in order to make sure everything nice, clean, neat. That means we invest our time in there to make things better. Then we all need to invest some time to change our negatives, to transform our negatives, especially our habits, our mistakes. So we can become a better, and once we become better, we bring a lot of joy to our loved one. And now love has become meaningful. The Buddha advises us, we need to build a strong foundation. And the strong foundation here is the foundation of love, the foundation of understanding, the foundation of happiness. So if we're able to understand, we are aware of something wrong, we're willing to do it better. So we are aware of the suffering caused by destruction of life. So that's why we vow not to kill, not to encourage any acts of killing, even in the way we think or in the way we live. Sometimes we're so angry, we raise in our mind, I'm going to kill you, even though we never do it. But that raised in our mind regularly, now we become the negative habits of thinking of your thought. And if you do not transform that thought, maybe your thought one day will become real. If you're unable to maintain your anger, you're unable to taming your anger, and that kind of evil, that kind of unmindful thought regularly arises in you, now will become real. We can see that it happens every year around the world. When they hit someone, they have an idea they will harm somebody. And that thinking regularly become a very strong thought in them, and they can make that into real. They become a killer. So the Buddhist practice cultivate our loving kindness. We treat everybody the same. So in order to love people, bring that person's situation become yours. Now you have love. Because we love us. So bring the one we hate become us, and we can love that person easily. So that is the first training, not to kill. And this is not the rules, the law. This is the training. This is the loving kindness practice, not to kill. The second training, we learn to practice not to steal, because we understand the suffering of exploitation. I vow to cultivate my loving kindness, not to take anything that not belong to me. Instead of taking, what do? We give. You can see that this society is more meaningful because we all can recognize the problems. So we're willing to share more than we take. That's why we do charity. Even back to, Thailand, Sri Lanka, wherever they have disaster, we donate to Red Cross. We donate to our community so we can bring that charity to those countries when they have disaster. They are not related to us. But why we give? Because we understand we are human. We are human and we want to live good. So if somebody, their life is not in a good condition, we try to bring them some better condition so they can have a better life. Because here we already have a good life, a better life. So we're thinking somebody else who is lower than us, worse than us. And that is the heart of love. Because we can see not only the suffering about mind, about mentally, but that sometime in this life, people suffer because of food, because of clothes, because of shelters. So we hope that. The second training, not to steal, but willing to give. Because it's fair. It's not yours, don't take. Because we know that when we lose something, we suffer the same. So the third practice, once we get married, we have to keep our commitments with our loved one. Not to engage any other relationship. You can see that right now the society have a lot of disease, especially HIV, because they do not practice the third trainings. And there is a lot of broken families in the society because people, they have a lot of mistakes, of wrong sexual misconduct. So once we love somebody, we have to keep our commitment. The fourth practice, we learn to speak truthfully, loving speech, so we can bring truly understanding and happiness to many others. Because we know words can make people happy, words also can make people suffer. So therefore we try to use loving speech. Besides speaking, what do we learn? Listening. Because we have the habits, we want to talk more than listen. So that's why a lot of arguments happen in our society, especially in our family, because we like to talk more than to listen. If somebody try to talk, we will stop them. I don't want to hear you. That's good enough. I don't want to hear you. And because we do not allow that person to release, that's why they hold so much things inside. And now it's become their depression. Why in our society we have so much depression? Because they try to hold, they try to press that down. Their loved one never allow them to release, to express. Now, they cannot express, they have to depress. You cannot release it, you have to hold it. So if you love that person, allow them to release. Doesn't matter right or wrong. Because in that moment, they want to talk. They want to release. And you can practice listening deeply. That's why in Buddhist practice, we have a very important Bodhisattva who we just recite her name. One Te Ambota, Avalokiteshvara. Every time when people suffer, they come to her. They call her in the very lovely word, Mother. Mother of mercy. Mẹ hiền. Because in that moment, they feel that Wangam can sit there and listen to their suffering. So when we bow to her, not only to ask her to bless, but we also make the commitment that I vow to practice like you, Avalokiteshvara, to listen to those who suffer. Because Wang means looking for, He means the world, means the sound. The one who looking for the sound of the world. What is that sound? The sound of suffering. The cries of it. So when you cry, you are looking for somebody who can be there for you to cry. She's willing to sit there, allow you to lean your head on her shoulder and cry. And if you do that, you are the Bodhisattva. quán thế âm. So two practice in this training: speaking lovely and listening deeply. Sometimes you cannot do anything yet, but at least you can listen to them. You don't have the solution for them yet. You don't have the way to help them yet, but at least you're able to help them to bring out their problem. Exactly like, I don't know how to transform garbage into compost, but I'm able to take their garbage first. And I was looking for the way to transform this. So now you make your love become real by using your loving speech and listening deeply. The fifth training: very mindful on our daily consumption. Food for both physical and mentally. Because if we take the wrong food, we will kill ourselves. We will damage this body. We will make this body sick. If we take the wrong book to read, that book will affect our thinking, our mind. So make sure we select a good book to read. Make sure we select a good game to play. If any games that contain violence, try to reduce it. Try to stay away. Because that affects your thinking a lot. Your violence thinking, your violence thought. Remember, when you get close to the light, you get bright. When you get close to the dark, you dark. This is the law. So that is the reason why we need to aware this physical body is given to us by our parents, ancestors. We have to keep this body in a good condition by taking, correct food for the body. If not, you may damage your body. And if you are not mindful to take games, movies, novels, conversation, magazines, those negative ones may affect your mentally health. Have you ever cried along with any song? Have you ever cried with some of the movie? Especially some Vietnamese lady, cải lương, Vietnamese opera. When they watch cải lương, they just sit there and take the tissue and clean their tears. Because that Vietnamese opera affects their feeling. So when they are going, oh, this is not real, they just pretend as a movie actor. So books, magazines, movies, electric games affect us a lot. So make sure we are mindful to choose anything that's healthy for ourselves. If we are not in we know about our health, we try to avoid some of the food from the weather. Let's say if you walk out on the night and you are afraid that the weather may be cold, you bring your jacket. Or you don't feel well, you take medication. Make sure you are not in a sick condition. Same thing. In our daily life, we must aware about that. So these are the 5 trainings taught by the Buddha. And now we can reflect, is there anything that related to religions? Or they related to our daily human's life? They all related to our human's life. What happened? You have to have at least 3 to 4 days to train your new job. When you get used to it, you can do on yourself, on your own. But anything at the very beginning, you have to train to make sure you know how to do it. Same thing. Why we call mindful trainings? Because we live with the unmindful trainings. Now we learn to be mindful. That's all. In the past, I eat, but I never reflect on the food. But now I learn how to reflect on the food. So make sure this food won't damage my health. Smoking, drinking, drugs, intoxicant, these are poison, may kill my body. So now I will say no to them. In the past, I say yes to them. Now I learn to say no. So the more I stay away from them, the more I feel healthy. The more I take them, the more I am sick. Because once we are addicted to them, we are unable to. We take long time to do rehab it. So today, I share with you the 5 trainings. You can request some monks to transmit these trainings to you. Because when you commit to use this training, you're willing to do it. Because with your practice, with your commitment, with your vow, you will try wholeheartedly to do it. If you don't make the vow to do it, you won't try your best. So anything we want to do to the destination, make sure we make the vow. I vow to do it. And when something you vow to do it, you're willing to put your time, your effort to make it become work. So these are the trainings I will try to share with you briefly. Hope that you can understand the refugee ceremony. Sometimes we call refugee ceremony, lễ quy y. Sometimes we call precept transmission or training transmission, lễ truyền giới. When we transmit to, the monk transmit to us, we receive it. We say, yes, I do. I'm willing to take this into my life, into my practice. And remember, if we don't practice, nothing will be there. We want to eat, we have to cook. Or even the food is there, we have to eat in order to satisfy our hunger. If not, nobody can eat for us. We want to have a happy family, we have to invest ourselves in this construction. Thank you for your listening and your attention.